Holy Spirit Senior Varsity Team.
Live here from Absecon, New Jersey, it is New Jersey High School football as the Holy Spirit Spartans take on the St. Joseph Wildcats. Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith for this Week 2 edition. And boy, is it a picture-perfect day for what they dub as the Holy War right here at Holy Spirit High School. Dennis, I got to say, this is one of the most anticipated matchups year in and year out between these two parochial schools. Holy Spirit's won the last two meetings dating back to 2019 after losing the 2018 non-public 2 championship over at MetLife Stadium. So it's been all Spartans since then, and we're going to have another great edition here this evening.
We will, Nick, and glad to be alongside you. And they would say that this would be a Chamber of Commerce type of day, but it is gorgeous. Temperatures about mid-70s, light wind, and ready to go. So it's nice to be back. It's funny. I'm also an administrator in the building here at Holy Spirit. 2 games before we've had the whole school in the building played this year. So it's interesting.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better day for football. It's been ranging between 65 and 72 degrees today. Sunny all day, just a few clouds in the air. Holy Spirit will begin things receiving. They won the toss. They did elect to receive. And we're going to get Trevin Delgazzo to kick things away for St. Joe's. And we're waiting on the official here as they have to. Looks like they're going to reset here before we get it kicked away.
And back deep as a double safety for Holy Spirit, Elijah Stewart. And looks like it's Gavin Roman closest to us.
Delgazzo's boot, and we are underway. This one's going to head towards Stewart on the far side, getting it from the 10-yard line. He'll come up towards the middle, makes one cut across the 20, and he'll be roped down just across the 20-yard line. That's where we will begin things here on this gorgeous Friday evening.
So, Nick's Holy Spirit has their entire offensive line back. They did get nicked up a little bit last week against the Matha Catholic in the battle at the beach in the loss 28-7, but pretty much intact for the offensive line. Trevor Cohen returns to run the offense for the Spartans, and you'll see a lot of what they did last week. They're going to do the flare, the swings, and then also mix in a little bit more running up the middle this week.
They're going to come out in an empty set. Trevor Cohen, the senior lefty quarterback. Quickly, he's going to swing one out here to the right side. This is Stewart trying to get up across the 25-yard line. He does, and he's knocked out of bounds right there by Jameer Cartagena. So it'll be a gain of about 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Spartans. Trevor Cohen, he is headed to Rutgers, my alma mater, next year, but not for football. He is a baseball commit, so the multi-talented athlete having one last year here on the gridiron before he hits the baseball diamond for the foreseeable future.
And led the Holy Spirit baseball team to the 2020 non-public B state championship.
Quick throw here from Cohen over to Stewart across the 30-yard line. Close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. Stewart's the guy to go to. He has been an outstanding weapon over the past 2 seasons. And, of course, leading into his senior year, he had 7 catches for 63 yards last week in the loss to DeMatha, Maryland Power.
And interesting, it's when we talk about Elijah Stewart, he's not your prototypical Randy Moss-style type of wide receiver who can dominate a game, but he dominates a game. He may be 5'10", and I'm giving him some.
Might be a little bit generous right there.
He may be 5'10". He'll tell me he's 5'10", but he plays like he's 6'3". And that's the thing. He's the kid that'll go over the middle. He'll make the catch in traffic. He'll break tackles. He just plays at a bigger level than what he really is.
He pretty much does it all. They're going to come out for a measurement off the officials' time. We're only 33 seconds into this contest. So we'll see where they mark this one. We're a little obstructed right now where the ball is, and you see even Stewart, it's like, hey, let's get a closer look and see if we have a first down here.
Short. Oh.
And that'll be a first down. Knows the football there on the catch from Elijah Stewart. Stewart also a member of the basketball team. So he's also one of these multi-sport athletes out there for the Spartans, and he'll be the guy today if Cohen's going to be throwing the ball a lot.
State champion in track as well. So he is a three-sport star. I know he will be back on the basketball court this season. So he is somebody who is somebody to watch in South Jersey this year.
Empty set again here for Cohen on 1st and 10. Dropping straight back. Cohen forced to his right. He's going to take off down the sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line, so he'll pick up a chunk. So, 2nd down coming up for Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Nick, interesting there. They had both they opened up at a double slot, and they had both wide receivers on the right-hand side of the formation run ins. And if Cohen would have been able to, he escaped to his right. If he had set his feet, he had Stewart open on outside the 50, but it would have been a tough throw across his body and in the middle of the field. You know what they tell quarterbacks about throwing the ball in the middle of the field late.
We don't exactly want that because we don't want turnovers. That's what the coaches will say down there.
Exactly.
Another empty set here for the Spartans on 2nd and 7. Cohen dropping straight back again over the middle, and that one is reeled in across midfield. That'll be a 1st down for Holy Spirit. Jameer Smith on the reception, his 7th of the year. He had 6 last week.
Nice pattern run that time by Smith as he was able to get the ball, and Cohen hit the back of his drop, let it go right away, and Smith made a nice catch in the middle, cradled himself, and took the hit.
Certainly a great form of protection by that offensive line on that last play. It's a senior-heavy line, 2 seniors and 3 juniors across the board, so a veteran offensive line, as we mentioned before. And they'll come out here on 1st and 10 at the St. Joe 49-yard line. Roman will be in the backfield to Cohen's right. He'll get the handoff, but we have whistles and a flag across the field, so it looks like we're going to get some early movement. We'll wait to see who it's on.
Well, that was a confusing signal, but it looks like it's going to be encroachment on St. Joe's.
So that'll tack on 5 yards for the Spartans. Move them up. It'll be 1st and 5 now. St. Joe's coming off a win last week at the Battle of the Beach in Ocean City. They defeated Northeast High School 31-18. Holy Spirit, of course, coming off a loss to Maryland-powered DeMatha 28-7. Nothing to hang your head over.
No, they played well in that game, and they accorded themselves very well.
Cohen will take the shotgun snap again. The handoff goes to Gavin Roman up the gut. He'll get up to the 40-yard line, just shy of the 1st down mark. It'll be about 2nd and 2 coming up now for the Spartans as this methodical drive continues now well into St. Joe's territory.
And, Nick, one of the things that you did not see, if you watched the game last week against DeMatha, one of the things you did not see because of DeMatha's D1 defensive line, you did not see a lot of running between the tackles last week. The Holy Spirit was trying to spread them out and trying to make them go sideline to sideline instead of trying to run them over through the middle.
That's not to say St. Joe's doesn't have some big boys up front,
right,
but nothing compared to last week. Cohen on 2nd and short,
good
going
ball
down the field, and he's going to overshoot Sean Burns. He had him. He had a step. Burns would have waltzed into the end zone. Zach Cruitt in on the coverage for St. Joe's, but Burns, the former quarterback, he had a step, and he would have walked right into the end zone.
And they used Stewart that time as a decoy as he came in motion across the formation from right to left, came into the backfield. It looked like the same setup of the first play of the game where they pitched the ball almost like a lateral to Stewart, and St. Joe's bit up. Burns was able to get over, but Cohen didn't put enough air under it.
Stewart will be the lone receiver to the left, Burns to the right, Smith in the slot, and the handoff goes to Roman left side trying to bounce, and he slips, and he's brought down at the 40-yard line. It's going to be 4th down. Looks like Talon Murray with the tackle there for St. Joe's. And now decision time for head coach A.J. Russo, and no hesitation. It's 4th and 2 at the 40-yard line. They're going to go for it.
They are going to go for it. And funny thing about that, you said decision time, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wonder what the 4th down play call is going to be because I already knew I knew there wasn't going to be a punt setting up.
For those who have not watched Holy Spirit often, there's not much punting going on for the Spartans, particularly when they cross the 50-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 2. Cohen comes out in the shotgun again. Stewart line up as the wing back. He'll go in motion now. Now we have more whistles. And looks like we're going to get a timeout. And that'll be a St. Joe's timeout there. First of the half, so they'll have to talk it over on defense. But while we have this break, obviously, it's Holy Spirit. Again, they have won the last 2 meetings over St. Joe's. And I'll tell you what, the most surprising result might have been 2 years ago in the state championship game up at Rutgers University. Holy Spirit came in with that one with a 38-0 win. And I would say, this is a rivalry that's been going back and forth for years. St. Joe's used to dominate, roughly 10 years ago. Then they started getting a little bit more even. But it seems like the tide's been turning over the past couple of years in favor of the Spartans.
Tide has been turning, and the games have been getting close. The games that even Holy Spirit hasn't won have been getting closer. So that year, the year that they beat St. Joe's 38-0, 3 weeks prior to that, they had just lost to them 22-19 at St. Joe's. So there was that trepidation, and they also had lost to them in the state final up at MetLife the previous year in 17. So it's definitely started to turn.
On fourth down, Cohen, toss out right. Here goes Gavin Roman across the 40-yard line. He's got the first down and more across the 35 and knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. First down for Holy Spirit. Forced out of bounds by Murray and Cartagena.
Great blocks out there to be able to get that first down. Nick Medina, a 5'11 freshman who was able to get his guy engaged and pushed him down the field, and also Jameer Smith clearing the way for Roman to get that first down on a gain of 8 on 4th and 2.
Be 1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line. Spirit on the move under 9 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Roman goes in motion to the left side. Cohen direct snap. He'll run, and he's brought down immediately. Really nowhere to go there as Demarion McCoy makes the tackle. And it looks like he's not going to lose anything, but he just got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 now.
Needed to be a little bit more patient there. Let the linemen come up the field. If it's going to be one of those QB draws, you want to draw those linemen up the field and then go into the gaps that are created as they come up the field. Just needed to be a little bit more patient there and letting that develop.
So Holy Spirit not rushing things here. Again, this has been a very methodical drive so far. 4 minutes just about now and counting. But they are getting closer to the red zone. Another empty set here for Cohen. Has the wing back. Cohen dropping straight back, looking, airing it out. Juan Smith down the field and is incomplete. We have a flag down. We're looking like in the area of holding as Cartagena was in on the coverage. And they're going to get that one on St. Joe's. So that tack on some penalty yardage.
Ball hadn't even been delivered yet, and Smith was already starting to blow by Cartagena, and Cartagena just reached out, grabbed him on the shoulder, just take him off stride, and that got called by the side judge on this sideline.
A little too much tugging right there. So the defensive holding will move him up. Spot the ball. It is a spot foul, so it's going to be 2nd and short now. They'll replay 2nd down, but about 2nd and 2 now. Burns now in the backfield next to Cohen. And Cohen, play fake. Looking, pressure coming, and he's going to be brought down and sacked. Huge play there for St. Joe's.
As Stewart was tackled, Stewart was coming in on a slant. He got tackled by the St. Joe's defender. Looked like it was Jakir Haley, a Holy Spirit transfer from 2 years ago. They're probably going to call another hold on the backside, as that's who Cohen was originally starting to look at.
Yeah, late flag down as Kevin Mayfield got the sack, but it's going to be wiped out due to the poor decision there from the Wildcats defense. So that'll be an automatic first down for Holy Spirit. That would have been Mayfield's 2nd sack of the season. He had one last week in the win. And a wasted opportunity there for St. Joe's.
Haley is lauded as one of the best cornerbacks not only in the area, but East Coast. You could even make the argument in the country. But that time it looked like Stewart was going to go for the fade, and it was a fade slant, and he came in, and Haley tackled it because he knew he was beat, and he had no help deep.
Haley did have an interception and a touchdown last week on defense for St. Joe's, the senior. Cohen on first down hands it off up the gut. And getting down to the 10-yard line goes Michael Weaver, the senior. And it looks like his knee was down prior to that, so they're going to spot this one about the 13-yard line. So we're going to get about a 2nd and 8. But Holy Spirit is knocking on the door here. And we're talking about taking some time off the clock there. St. Joe's offense has, they miss guys like Jada Byers, who they had a couple years ago. They're still explosive though, but if you keep the ball away from the St. Joe's Wildcats, they're begging to get on the field right now. On second down, Cohen hands off Weaver. Right side trying to get to the edge. Gets across the 10, and he's brought down by Prevard. We'll see where they spot him. He's going to be short of the first down. Third down coming up for Holy Spirit.
Good spot there for Weaver, as it looked like he went out of bounds around the 10-yard line, but they're going to mark him probably around, it looks like, the 8-yard line, which is going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Spartans, as this has been a full length of the field odyssey, as we're now going into the 12th offensive play from scrimmage, not including the 2 defensive holding penalties.
Backed him up a little bit, 3rd and 5. Cohen play fake, looking. Flush to the right side now. Cohen going to take off and run, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 5-yard line.
Another flag in the end zone. It looked around the area of Jameer Smith.
Boy, and if this is another one on St. Joe's, they are just shooting themselves in the foot right now. As Cohen was close, it will be 4th down at the moment, but that is going to be a hold on St. Joe's. And hey, move the sticks. We're going to have 1st and goal.
1st and goal after the holding. It should be enough for the 1st down, but again, 3 defensive holding penalties. It goes to show you where the strength of the Holy Spirit football team is right now. Offensive. Now the strength. They're also very good defensively. Don't get that wrong, but offensively, with the skill players that they have and are able to trot out there, it's put St. Joe's in a bind.
1st and goal now for Holy Spirit inside the 5-yard line. Cohen, another empty set. Takes it. Going to run it himself up the gut. Dives. Touchdown, Holy Spirit. They strike first. Trevor Cohen quickly getting his offense off the field. Tremendous drive for the Spartans. 5:50 on that drive.
And a nice job that time on the TD run by the block that the senior center Javian McGee made. He was able to seal his guy. He actually turned and sealed his kid, and that was what created the lane for Cohen to get into the end zone for the Spartan touchdown.
Mason Forte on to kick the extra point. 1 of 1 last week. This one's on the way, and it is good. Nailed it with a boot. 7-0 Holy Spirit with 6:10 to go in the first quarter. So you want to talk about setting the tone early. Holy Spirit through half of a quarter right now, up 7-0 with that methodical drive. They wore down the St. Joe's defense, and plus the Wildcats shot themselves in the foot a little bit with penalties.
They did. They gave Holy Spirit opportunities on the back-to-back defensive holding penalties, and then also the third defensive holding penalty, which gave Holy Spirit the 1st and goal inside the 5 on a play that they didn't necessarily get the 1st down on the play itself. So it's one of those things. I know that's what Coach Paul Sacco is not going to be happy about that. He is one of those. He is all about execution and not making those types of mistakes. So they had 4 penalties, St. Joe's did, on that drive. 1 dead ball, the other 3 were the defensive holding calls.
Well, we'll see what's in store now as St. Joe's will get a crack at it. Holy Spirit to kick it away. 6:10 to go here in the first. A couple St. Joe's guys moving up. This one's going to be put on the ground, picked up. And St. Joe's and nearly broke away there. Be spotted just shy of the 45-yard line as Javian Swain in there on the return, the surprise return off a little swip kick. So we'll see what the Wildcats do on offense now with just a little bit more than half a field to go.
So interesting there. That seems to be the modus operandi for Holy Spirit kickoffs, is that usually they're the little squibs. I know you've seen that once or twice because you've done a couple games there.
Just a little bit. There, for those who don't watch Holy Spirit, not that they disregard special teams, but they have a unique approach to special teams.
That's a nice way to put it. I like that.
I almost take offense to that. I was a special teams ace back in the day, at least in my own mind.
Well, that's all that matters.
1st and 10 for St. Joe's. Prevard. Handoff left side. Holy Spirit is there. A gang of Spartans there for the tackle, and maybe a loss of 1.
Junior Jaden Llanos did a nice job of coming up, setting the edge, and having to force the St. Joe's running back inside where he had a bunch of teammates waiting for him to make that tackle.
Cole Mercado with the carry, but he goes nowhere, lost about half a yard. He actually, interesting stats last week. He had 11 carries last week for just 5 yards, but he did have a touchdown, and then, of course, he had 2 catches for 70 yards and another touchdown. So the guy can find the end zone, but it might take him a little bit to break free. 2nd and 10 for St. Joe's. Brevard rolling to his right, looking, going downfield, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Mercado on a bit of a wheel route. So Weaver in coverage right there, now 3rd and 10.
Nick, interesting there. You see St. Joe sends out 2 guys into the pattern, whereas the whole Holy Spirit drive, there were at least 4, maybe 5 guys out into the pattern. Spartan defense did a nice job. Weaver stuck to him like glue coming out on that wheel route, looking for that, and Brevard threw it out of bounds when he saw the coverage. And it's going to be 3rd and long where the Wildcats don't want to be for St. Joe's.
Good coverage there by the senior outside linebacker. Brevard comes back out under center. Otano goes in motion. Brevard, handoff, and nowhere to go. Holy Spirit was there. My goodness, Kevin Mayfield could not even get back to the line of scrimmage before 3 Spartans were in his face, led there by Luke Lewis.
Yep, Michael Francisco, Jaden Llanos, all there to put him down for the loss back to the 43-yard line, and St. Joe's will come out now in punt formation.
4th and 12, and pretty much that's all you can do. I mean, you have not moved a yard here. Delgazo to punt as well, and he just got that one away. It's a high kick, but it's not going to go far. It'll just cross the 45-yard line, and Holy Spirit is going to have great field position as Stewart didn't even pay attention to that punt.
He didn't need to.
No,
it was one of those things. That's one of those, if he kicks it away from you, you know what, you just let it go out of bounds. And as soon as it left his foot, he didn't even get it to turn over. As soon as it left his foot, it barely got past the down markers. So it was a 14-yard punt. And you would think sometimes you would hope that if you're St. Joe's, with the field position you have, even if you don't get a first down, maybe you can pin Holy Spirit deep. Not the case this time, as Holy Spirit's going to have better field position than they did for their first drive.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. From their own 43, we have 4.5 to go here in the first quarter. They lead 7-0. Cohen in the shotgun again. Stewart comes in motion left to right. Cohen, quick throw, swinging out. Stewart trying to get to the edge, and he's going to be brought down. No, he's not brought. He somehow stayed up as he was pulled by his face mask, and that is going to be actually the former Spartan, Jakir Haley. They're going to nail him. I don't know how Stewart didn't go down. Brevard also helping out on the tackle, but here comes the foul, and wow, they're going to get a holding on Holy Spirit, so hold the phone. How about that? They must have completely missed that face mask.
Yeah, he must not have seen it. Nobody saw it. They saw the illegal block in the back.
That is a killer for the Spartans. At least from our vantage point, it looked like Haley tried pulling Stewart down by his face mask, but you know, sometimes those they look like face masks, but they end up pulling them down by the collar. So back him up a long way. It is 1st and forever.
1st and 23, because it's a spot foul, so the foul occurred at the 40. 10 yards from there, they're back to the 30. Interesting watching Stewart in motion. They're trying to get one-on-one matchups with him, and that's probably why they're trying to put him in motion, because you can see now they have Haley over the top as Stewart is going to the top side of the formation.
Cohen, quick handoff, left side up the gut to Gavin Roman crossing the 35, so he'll get a chunk back, about a gain of 5 there. And for your reference, the first down marker is across midfield, and Holy Spirit's only at their own 35. So now we have about 2nd and 20.
Right. So, but it's one of those things, and I can tell you that Coach Rousseau and Coach Roman and the offensive staff are thinking of this as, okay, 4 downs to get 23 yards.
So if they get close to midfield, they will not think about punting. Cohen, straight back again, going up top for Smith, and he overshot him. Well covered, though, by Cartagena.
That was good coverage. He was step for step with Smith. Smith wasn't able to get a clean break off the line of scrimmage, and then we have a late flag that has just come in.
You heard a gasp from the crowd as well. It seems like the Holy Spirit sideline is not happy with that as well.
So it's just a sideline warning, so it won't actually be a penalty itself, just the warning itself.
Spartan sideline is livid right now. You got to imagine they were hoping for a pass interference call.
So now 3rd down for Holy Spirit.
3rd and 18 for the Spartans. Let's see what they relay to the huddle here with Trevor Cohen. As you mentioned, Dennis, this is probably before, as long as they get a good chunk here, it's probably going to be 4-down territory.
Usually is, but if they don't get anything here, I would absolutely expect them to punt.
Cohen dropping straight back, lobbing one. Juan Smith again, and that time there's going to be a pass interference call as Cartagena that time had to tear him down, and, well, that's going to give him a big chunk back, and they like that matchup so far. That's the second straight play they went on the same exact route.
Same route. It was a 9 route. All the way down, trying to get. They're trying to put St. Joe's in one-on-one positions, and whenever they can get a one-on-one, and it looks like it's going to be Cartagena, that's going to be the one that they're trying to get on the one-on-ones. And you can see them as they were running side by side, but he had Smith's jersey, and then finally pushed him down right on the hip.
Cartagena has been picked on a lot tonight. Did have an interception last week, so he is quite the ball hawk.
And again, like in high school, it's never an automatic first down. It's always just a 15-yard penalty. And so now they're going to be in 4-down territory.
Yeah, they certainly got a nice chunk there, getting the ball up to the 50-yard line. So 3rd and 4 for Holy Spirit. 3:14 to go here in the first. They lead 7-0. Had a near 6-minute drive to open things up for a touchdown. Cohen. He's going to run it himself up the gut, hurdles a man, and he spins over, and there he goes, he breaks away. Trevor Cohen makes a cut, and he's down inside the 35-yard line. Cartagena brought him down, and Cohen gave him a little extracurricular right after.
A little in your face on that 1st and 23 drive. We get a first down with a little bit of your help. So situation like that, the only way plays like that work are blocking, and especially blocking downfield. The interior line did a nice job of hemming in all of the St. Joe's linebackers, and then you had Stewart blocking downfield, doing a nice job, opening up bigger holes for Cohen.
Speaking of Stewart, he's in the backfield, now goes in motion. Cohen dropping back, looking, down the sideline. He's got a man in his caught, and a shot Burns, and it is a touchdown. Holy Spirit doubles it up. Beautiful toss from Cohen to Burns.
That's the ball that they threw in the first time they tried to do that. Burns was able to get behind, but he didn't put enough air on it. That time, Cohen had a beautiful throw, drops it into the bucket, and Burns is able to break the plane of the end zone before Quamir Kirkland tried to knock the ball out. But Burns was able to break the plane and gets the touchdown.
That's Burns' first touchdown of the season. Only had one catch last week for 28 yards, and, well, that time he makes it count. Extra point here for Forte. It's on the way, and it is good. 14-0 Holy Spirit, 2:41 to go here in the first quarter. So 2 drives, 2 scores for Holy Spirit. Now St. Joe's has to respond, and, well, Dennis, I mean, that first drive, St. Joe's went backwards. They have -2 yards so far here in the first quarter.
And they could be in a situation where they could be in a lot of trouble if they don't answer on this drive, especially if Holy Spirit's able to, again, get into the second quarter, grind out another drive. That was a quicker drive. Obviously, it wasn't a 6-minute drive, but so they took a little bit less than 2 minutes off the clock. One of the things that in last year's game, where Holy Spirit won 18-6, it was the explosiveness of the Holy Spirit offense. They had a 91-yard touchdown catch by Gavin Roman. They had a 35-yard touchdown catch by Eli Stewart. They had a 60. The one that put it away was the one down the sideline to the tight end, Jashawn Teller, which was 65 yards. So you saw explosiveness. Holy Spirit came out on the first drive and showed we're gonna run it down your throat, and nickel and dime it. There you had the explosiveness.
Feliciano to boot it, and this time they'll keep it on the ground to the right side. St. Joe's will have a chance, and breaking. Oh, we have a chance here. This is Cartagena getting across the 40-yard line, and he's finally brought down, so St. Joe's is alive.
That always helps turn the momentum a little bit, is when you have the ability to have a kickoff return, and that was a nice return. That was a 30, 35-yard return by Cartagena to get it into Holy Spirit territory. So, and I know they like to make sure that they're kicking it to certain people. I don't know if that's who you want to put it to, especially with Cartagena, because he's had some things that he's need to make up for. He's had some penalties that have been called on him. The one that kept that drive alive on third and 18 really hurt St. Joe, so he's able to make a positive play for the Wildcats.
Well, Cartagena might have given him a spark there. Here comes Brevard and the offense. He's in the shotgun. Brevard, handoff. This is Mayfield to the left side, trying to get to the edge, and he's tripped up. Beautiful tackle there by Francisco, or beg your pardon, that was Michael Weaver.
This time they didn't have Janos there setting that edge, but Weaver did a nice job of getting off of his block and come up and subverting the making the tackle and taking his legs out from under him for no gain.
A lot of effort for no gain.
Exactly.
2 minutes to go here in the first. St. Joe's is in Holy Spirit territory, courtesy of Cartagena's kickoff return. And he'll line up in the slot to the right side. Brevard in the shotgun here on 2nd and 10. Fakes it, trying to take off and run himself across the 35. Cartagena up to the 30. He'll be short of the first down, but he gets a nice 8-yard chunk. It'll be 3rd and short now for St. Joe's.
Nice shot that time by Brevard, reading what was there. Holy Spirit did come up the field. They had outside containment. Cole showed us outside containment that time. Brevard just cut it up inside and was able to pick his way down to the 30-yard line. You got to think St. Joe's in 4-down territory here as well. Down 14 already in the first quarter.
3rd and about 3.
Under center. Interesting.
Brevard. There's Mercado in motion. Hand off up the gut, and it's not going to be enough. Mayfield does not get there. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, and Holy Spirit's front 7 there once again.
6'2" senior linebacker Michael Francisco right there to make the tackle for no gain. So, again, we're looking at 4th and 3, and this is going to be a big play for them to try to keep momentum that they got off of the kickoff return.
Middle linebacker Michael Francisco in on that stop. He has been all over the place so far tonight. Under 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Trips to the right now for St. Joe's on 4th down. Brevard back, looking, pressure. He's scrambling to his right. He's going to toss one downfield, and it is incomplete, but there comes the flag. Haley was interfered with by Michael Weaver. I mean, even the contact looked incidental as he was coming back for the football, but that's going to draw a flag, and it will be a first down here for St. Joe's.
So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Weaver started to come up because he thought Brevard was going to break, contain, and get outside, and he put that line, put him in a bind. And Haley was over the top, and he was trying to get back. I think if he maybe had turned to look for the ball instead of just coming back with his head down, trying to come back, he might have been able to get there, but to no avail.
They're going to move that up to the 15-yard line, so St. Joe's now in the red zone for the first time tonight. 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So some signs of life here for the Wildcats.
It'd be interesting to see if they're going to be able to penetrate the front 7 of Holy Spirit in the red zone. As you get into the red zone, it condenses down what they're able to do.
Here's Brevard. The handoff goes to Mercado, and doesn't get much, maybe about a yard there as Marcus Lewis, the first one in there on the stop. And with that play, that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. So after 1, it is Holy Spirit 14 at St. Joe's 0. You're watching New Jersey High School football.
Maybe a yard on the play. Coming to the end of the first quarter here at Ed Burns Memorial Stadium with the score. The St. Joe Wildcats 0 and Holy Spirit Spartans 14.
Second quarter action here at Holy Spirit High School. Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith. St. Joe's knocking on the door here, trailing 14-0. Here is Prevard in the shotgun, and the handoff goes to Mercado. Spins, and he's laid out after a gain of about 2. Woo. That was Jameer Smith. My goodness. Laying the wood.
Brought him down again. Short yardage. I mean, they're getting, I don't know, I'm going to say back to the line of scrimmage there because so it's going to be 3rd and 8.
If it weren't for Mercado's little spin move there, he might have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. That spin move probably bought him another 2 yards.
Yes.
3rd and 8 now for St. Joe's at the 18. I beg your pardon, the 13-yard line. Brevard in the shotgun. Mercado to his left.
Watch the swing.
Brevard, play fake, going to the end zone once Cartagena, and he cannot make the catch. Tried to lay it out with one hand. It'll be 4th down.
Nick, it's 3rd down. You got to go with both hands. It's 3rd down from the 13-yard line. Like I get what you're trying to do, but you're not OBJ. Like you need to go up and get it with both hands to get your team back in the game.
Lanos there on the coverage for Holy Spirit.
And it was a nice throw by Prevard. And it was there.
Hey,
it was
laid
right
it out
where
there.
Right where it needed to be. He's got to go up with both hands to make that catch.
Well, they're going to take a field goal attempt here. Trevin Delgazo on the way, and it is good.
30-yard field goal.
14-3 now, so St. Joe's is on the board with a 30-yard boot from Trevin Delgazo. That's his second of the season. He's 2 for 2 now on the young year. 11:07 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Nick, they can't be trading field goals for touchdowns. If Holy Spirit gets a touchdown here on this drive, this is almost one of those. I know it's early and there's 11 minutes left in the second quarter, but this is one of those things. Holy Spirit's run has had 2 drives. They found the end zone on both of them. Now aided by mistakes by St. Joe's, defensive penalties. But if the St. Joe's defense doesn't get a stop here, it becomes a very slippery slope.
Yeah, they're going to have to play some serious catch-up if they cannot contain the Spartans on offense here.
So, again, dual safety back for Holy Spirit. It'll be Eli Stewart and Gavin Roman.
See if they get an opportunity.
Yeah, Delgazo's got a decent leg. I mean, that 30-yarder could have been good from 40. And the first kick went down to Stewart at the 10, the opening kickoff of the game. So it's not like he doesn't have the leg. But the up guys need to be aware.
Yeah, you can never rule out onside kicks at any point at this level. Delgazo has his guys ready. Here's the run-up. He will boot it deep. And looks like this is going to push Stewart back, and he missed the ball. He'll let it roll, though, into the end zone for a touchback. So rather than touch it and take a risk, Holy Spirit will get the touchback, and they'll start the drive at their own 20-yard line.
Good decision that time by Stewart. He had his feet on the 10. It's one of those things, as soon as you start to drop a little bit, and that ball bounced probably around the 5, good decision to let that occur and take just, instead of being pinned back and having to go 97 yards, take it at the 20.
Well, now it's a matter of what Holy Spirit is going to do on this drive now. Had a near 6-minute drive to open things. And their last drive, Cohen found Sean Burns for a deep shot for the touchdown. Cohen on first down, hands off to Gavin Roman, and he got back just to the line of scrimmage, tackled by a host of Wildcats defenders. Miles Solomon among those in there on the tackle.
Not much there for Roman as he tried to turn the corner off the handoff. He saw a lot of white jerseys at that point and was brought down.
They'll give Roman about a half yard on the play, so second down come up for the Spartans. You can see they are definitely going to be taking their time now. 10.5 and counting to go here in the half. Stewart will be the lone receiver here to the near side. Burns up top, and Smith will go in the slot. Roman in the backfield. Cohen, quick toss left. Rowan makes a cut, and he'll be brought down again quickly just across the 20-yard line, that time by P.J. Williams.
And Swain came up and showed outside containment that time for St. Joe's, and he was able to force Roman back inside, and that's where Williams was waiting for him. And it was a nice job by Swain to create that outside pressure to force Roman back inside.
Third, and we'll call it 8. Empty set here for Trevor Cohen and company. Straight drop back for Cohen. Going downfield, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Smith. No flags that time.
No.
And it'll be 4th down.
No, and in fact, as the ball sailed over Smith's head, Cartagena was like, I'm putting my hands up so you can see that I am not touching him right now.
And here comes a rare punt for Holy Spirit.
So nice job that time by the St. Joe's defense. They get the points. They get the 3 points. Now they get a 3 and out against Holy Spirit. And it's Stewart back to punt for Holy Spirit.
It's like St. Joe's is going to have 2 return men, Mercado the deep man and Cartagena staying about the 40-yard line.
Cartagena's the safety just in case Stewart decided to take off.
Good boot there from Stewart. Mercado will get a chance to return across the 50, and Mercado going to try to take off to the left side, and he's brought down. Great tackle there for Holy Spirit. Eric Roman bringing him down before Mercado could spring loose. But once again, St. Joe's has great field position to start this drive. And, we mentioned it. The Wildcats were going to stay in this game here in the first half. They had to get a stop there. They get the 3 and out. And now they're in Holy Spirit territory looking to close the gap a little bit here.
Again, inside the 40. So it's as Nick, as you know, way easier to score off a short field than it is off a long field. Now, the Spartans did go 80 yards on their first drive. But eventually there was going to be some adjustments that were going to be made by the St. Joe's coaching staff, and they did that time to get the 3 and out, and now are pressuring and putting pressure on the Holy Spirit defense again.
1st and 10 for St. Joe's inside the Spirit 40-yard line. Brevard comes out under center. And off left side, nowhere to go for Mayfield as Francisco in on that tackle.
Mayfield takes the hand up from Brevard.
Another tackle for loss for Francisco. Oh, maybe not. I guess they're giving him line of scrimmage.
Maybe a quarter yard.
Maybe, but
a couple inches.
Again, great job by Francisco shooting the gaps. The defensive linemen doing a good job of engaging the offensive linemen so they're not able to shed them to get to the next level to get to the linebackers. Trips this time.
2nd and 10 for St. Joe's. Brevard in the shotgun this time. Play fake, slips, and he's going to have to try to take off and run. He won't get far. Jay Sean Teller, the first one in on the stop. It's going to be 3rd and long for St. Joe's.
It was interesting that time. So they had trips to the right side of the formation, and you saw these 2 Holy Spirit defenders chasing it down from the backside. Teller was able to get there first to get the sack back in the backfield before Brevard was able to do any damage.
And he will get credit for that one. Loss of 3, 3rd and 13 now for the Wildcats. And this is their opportunity to answer back, try to close the gap. They got on the board last drive with a field goal from Delgazzo from 30 yards out. They're backed up here, though. Brevard back, airing one deep, wants Haley right side, and he makes, oh, no, he dropped it. Oh, he had it in the breadbasket momentarily. It'll be 4th down.
Good coverage that time. George Coles was with him stride for stride. It was a nice throw by Brevard because really only his guy was going to be able to catch it because it was pinned to the sideline. And it looked like Haley was going to make the catch. It was only going to be a question of whether or not he was going to be able to drag his feet. But it fell through as he hit the ground and popped out. So 4th and long here for St. Joe's. Is this one of those situations where you punt and pin them deep? The Holy Spirit's thinking they are going to punt, and they are in punt formation. Delgazzo's on the field.
I was going to say, I was looking for Brevard in that huddle, but Delgazzo is on the punt, so see how far they can pin him back. Delgazzo, high punt, wobbly, and fair catch called therefore by Elijah Stewart, and Holy Spirit will have the ball just across their own 15-yard line. So they lead 14-3, but they'll trot back onto the field, so both teams trading 3 and outs here. So after a methodical first quarter, the game has slowed down a little bit in terms of the offensive production, but let's see what the Spartans can do on this next drive.
Nick, that was a nice job by Stewart coming up and making that catch, because if that ball gets down, it's probably down. It's definitely inside the 10. Now, I know the grass is a little long, but that definitely gets inside the 10, and they're trying to go in an even longer field, and St. Joe's will be able to pin their ears back and just keep coming up the field.
Two receivers right. Stewart, the lone man, to the bottom of your screen. Cohen, handoff. Weaver makes the cut, and he goes nowhere.
Lost it too. Yeah.
Good job in the open field there by Cole Mercado for St. Joe's. 2nd and 12 now.
I'd like to see Holy Spirit do a little bit more in between the tackles. They had success on the first drive. Roman had a run between the tackles. Cohen had a couple runs between the tackles. It's easier. There are not as many stretch blocks as when you're running between the tackles, so it's easier to maintain contact and push up the field for an offensive lineman.
Roman not actually out there right now. Weaver's still in the backfield. Cohen, play fake, looking, rolling to his right. He's looking downfield, trying to air one deep. He's looking in the area of Stewart, and it is intercepted. St. Joe's will get the ball right back. That's Nasir Mahmoud with the interception. We have a man down, though, for St. Joe's.
And that's Haley that's down.
And that's a guy they can ill afford to lose. Nasir Mahmoud gets his 2nd interception of the season.
Haley back up to his feet, so that's a good sign.
Looks like he might have just got the wind knocked out of him.
But that's one of those, I know Cohen's trying to make a play, but there were 5 Wildcats between 2 Holy Spirit receivers there. I know we expect that Cohen makes a lot of Stewart makes a lot of catches, but he's not going to be able to go up between 5 defenders and try to make a catch. That's one of those, throw it out of bounds, it's 3rd and 12, maybe make a running play or a draw, maybe try to flip field position. Now, that being said, this is just as good as a punt, as St. Joe's are on their side of the field.
1st and 10 now for St. Joe's. Trying to answer as Pavar get the handoff to Mercado. He goes nowhere. Jay Sean Teller, the tackle for a loss. Boy, I mean, where did he come from? It seemed like nobody blocked him. He flew into the backfield.
Holy Spirit is making a living in the St. Joe's backfield right now. And if I was a running back, I'd be like, you can keep that ball. I'm tired of getting hammered.
At least stay away from that side. My goodness.
Ooh, looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Nasir Mahmoud actually checks in for St. Joe's. He's the one who just had the interception.
Probably taking the place of Haley.
Mahmoud actually had 3 catches last week, but he had -3 yards. He only went backwards last week, unfortunately. 2nd and 11. Pavard, straight drop, going deep. Once Cartagena down the sideline, he makes the catch. In stride, touchdown, St. Joe's.
He beat Coles that time. He was able to get on the top side, and another nice throw by Pavard to find Cartagena for the touchdown for the Wildcats.
Jameer Cartagena, 2nd touchdown of the season. And Pavard tosses his 3rd of the year as well. It's 14-9 now, and suddenly we have a tight ball game.
Well, you kind of knew it would be one of those things that St. Joe's would eventually throw a punch back after Holy Spirit scores on their first 2 drives.
Delgazo on for the extra point. It was 4-4 last week. And that one is true. 14-10. About halfway through the 2nd quarter, we got ourselves a nice little football contest over here in Absecon.
I'm trying to remember the last time there was a big, high-scoring, both sides Holy Spirit St. Joe's game. It's probably back when Josh Zamont was here. I think that was both sides. Then St. Joe's won that game in a shootout.
Last time these 2 teams actually had a decent amount of scoring between them, at least in the past couple of seasons. You have to go back to 2018 at MetLife when St. Joe's took home the non-public 2 title over Holy Spirit. But that one ended 38-26 or 38-22. Those 2 teams went back and forth, but that was a offensive explosion that day. We got a tight one now, and I'll tell you what, it's a great day for football. We have a packed house here at Ed Burns Stadium. Just taking a look right below us. The Holy Spirit faithful back in full swing for the first time in 2 years.
Yes.
Same goes for the St. Joe's crowd across the way. We know they travel well.
They always travel well, and they were sitting on their hands for the first quarter, but now they're starting to get up and make some noise.
They're live now. Delgado to boot it deep. And Stewart is going to get an opportunity from near the goal line. Across the 10, 15, Stewart, and he's knocked down shy of the 20-yard line, and possibly a bit of a momentum shift as St. Joe's the more lively sideline right now.
Nick, you're absolutely correct. And, you know, they were able to get points. They got the field goal, started to feel good about themselves. Now have had back-to-back, well, a 3-and-out and then a turnover. And then they score off of that turnover, so they are starting to feel their oats a little bit.
1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 20-yard line. Cohen, handoff left side, Gavin Roman trying to get to the edge, across the 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds. So give him a gain of 5 or 6 here, depending upon where they spot him. Good chunk there, second down coming up for Holy Spirit.
So Gavin Roman, a 5'7", 165-pound junior, doesn't have like when Holy Spirit had Elijah Gray. You always knew where Elijah Gray was going to be. He was going to be between the tackles. Patrick Smith was everywhere. Gavin is one of those that he's going to try. That's why they're trying to get him on the outside, to get him outside those tackles to be able to try to run away from people.
He's got the speed. 2nd and 4 for Holy Spirit. Handoff. Weaver across the 30-yard line, and he's got a first down.
So interesting, if you looked at that on that defense that time when St. Joe's lined up, they widened their splits a little bit. And I think that's one of those situations that when they widen their splits, that's when Holy Spirit's going to try to take advantage of that and get into the tackle-to-tackle running game.
That's a little burst of speed there from the senior. 1st and 10 for the Spartans just across the 30-yard line. Weaver again, up the gut. I'll get up to the 36. So Holy Spirit is trying to get a couple chunks here and there. Gain of about, we'll call it about 3.5 or so.
That's what I would have called it. 3.5 definitely. But it's one of those things that if you're going to get 3.5 every time, you're going to be in a situation that you're staying ahead of the chains.
You're going to get first downs.
Yep, you're going to stay ahead of the chains.
We'll call this one 2nd and 7. Cohen, play fake. Looking, clean pocket, downfield, and it is. Oh, it's picked off Cartagena across the 50-yard line. He's coming back the other way. Cartagena with a convoy in front of him. He's in. Touchdown, St. Joe's, and they take the lead.
That was a great interception by Cartagena and a 57-yard return. And this has been all red and white here in the second quarter for St. Joseph's.
What a turn of events. His second interception of the season, and Cartagena has taken this game over by himself.
He has the big 56-yard touchdown catch. Now a 57-yard interception return to put St. Joe's on top. He made some early mistakes, but he's paid them back. And he also had the big kickoff return that started the momentum turn.
The second quarter is definitely his favorite right now as Delgado knocks the extra point through. It is 17-14. St. Joe's has answered Holy Spirit. 17 unanswered points right now.
That throw, he was open because he was open deep. Cohen's got to put a little bit more air under that ball. If he puts a little bit more air under that, that's going to hit Smith in stride, and it's going to be a touchdown because Smith was 2 or 3 yards beyond Cartagena that time, and would have been able to stroll into the end zone.
Ball may have been underthrown a little bit, but a wonderful snag by Cartagena to get that one out of the air. And then, of course, that is just great defense. As you know, they used to call. I don't know if St. Joe's does this, but they used to call that Oski. You know, you get an interception, and you have that convoy in front of you. Everyone just takes out, and usually somebody yells out "Q" to take out the quarterback.
Right.
But hey, St. Joe's, they'll take points however they can get them right now, and now they have the lead.
Have the lead and have the momentum. That's one of Nick, you called it. It's one of those things that definitely turned, and you could feel it turn on the sideline. Holy Spirit had the initial punch in the face, so to speak. They punched St. Joe's in the face, and then St. Joe's has punched back. So now we need to see what Holy Spirit's going to do. They've given up 17 straight.
Don't forget, St. Joe's gets the ball to start the second half as well. So Holy Spirit won the coin toss pregame and elected to receive. They scored on their first 2 drives, but they've sputtered since. Roman and Stewart back deep to return. The St. Joe's crowd is alive across the way, and now we have a offsides flag coming. So hold the phone on this kickoff.
So one of the things that's also happened for Holy Spirit is that Stewart seems to be taken out of that intermediate passing game. That's one of the things. Holy Spirit's not one team that's going to want to be standing back in the pocket and having Cohen throwing the ball 30, 35, 40 yards down the field. They're all about that intermediate passing game, taking 8, 10, 12 yards at a time, and they've taken Stewart out of that part of the offense. St. Joe's has.
Yeah, Stewart's been quiet since the first quarter.
And really that first drive.
Yeah, if you want to get the ball back in the hands of one of your playmakers, you got to try to get it to Elijah Stewart, one of the more undervalued wide receivers in South Jersey, I'd say.
Yes.
Delgazzo to kick it deep as they're going to back it up now for the offsides. It's still booted deep, though. This one's headed for Gavin Roman, far side. Across the 10, 15, 20. Roman trying to find a seam, and he's brought down by Haley. The former Holy Spirit Spartan is fired up. And the Spartans now deep in their own territory again. But now, for the first time tonight, they are trailing. Down 17-14 right now at 4:21 to go here in the first half.
This is an important 4:21 to try to stem the momentum and put a little confidence back in Trevor Cohen. He's thrown 2 interceptions here in the quarter.
Yeah, you don't want the wheels to fall off here. Cohen, outside handoff, Roman stumbles, and he's brought down immediately by Murray. Murray, see ball, hit ball.
Yep. Did a nice job filling the gap because there was, as Roman started to come outside, he tried to put his foot in the ground and cut back, and he was there to bury him in the hole.
Tough going for the Spartans right now. They have not lost to St. Joe's in 2 years now. Trying to win their 3rd straight in this matchup. Second and long, Cohen deep down the left sideline. He's got Burns in stride. Sean Burns off to the races, and he is. Oh, he's caught just across the 25-yard line. Tremendous tackle made by Nasir Mahmoud, but Sean Burns has woken up the Spartan sideline.
Big play, a confidence play for Cohen. He had Burns wide open. Burns has been wide open 3 times so far in this contest. They've hit him twice. First time they missed him, but they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive anyway. He got the touchdown play on the opposite side, and that time wide open by like 2-3 yards. But a nice job by Mahmoud to track Burns down and to bring him down before he was able to get any deeper into St. Joe's territory.
That was some good closing speed there by the defensive back. Cohen takes it, handoff Roman up the gut. And they're going to give him about, say, 2 or 3 yards on the play. So Holy Spirit knocking on the door of the red zone now. We might have a man down for Holy Spirit. One of the offensive linemen trying to get a number on it. Helmet does come off. I believe that is Justin McNulty who is down right now.
I believe it is as well.
Tough to see what happened. You know, a bit of a scrum up the gut. And based on the way he is laying down, I want to say it's his back or a lower leg injury here.
And you always worry about getting rolled up into the pile, especially in a running play between the tackles like that. Nick, it was interesting on that play. St. Joe's had 12 on the field. Usually that gets flagged if you break the huddle with 12 on the field, but they were able to get number 6 off the field. Kevin Mayfield was able to get off the field just before the snap that time, but I was surprised they didn't get hit with an illegal participation penalty.
Well, this certainly has turned into a pretty fun game here tonight. Obviously, we hope McNulty, I believe, is the man down. Hopefully, he is okay. Checking on him, and it looks like it is I want to say they're checking his knee from our vantage point up here. 2:52 to go here in the first half. 17-14, St. Joe's on top. If you're just joining us, Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith. Matt Ulmer, of course, on the camera and producing tonight's broadcast.
My hero.
I think he's everybody's hero at this point. All the tremendous work he does in South Jersey.
He does so much for our athletes, our South Jersey, and especially our Cape Atlantic League athletes. Does a tremendous job. Can't thank him enough for everything that he's done. And I know I'm not alone in that sentiment either.
And they're going to help McNulty to his feet, and he is definitely not putting much weight on that right leg. Dylan Knopf is the backup along the left side of the line. Let's see if they're going to put him in. And he's listed as the backup for left tackle and left guard. So we'll see who they sub in for McNulty as they have to help him off the side. So we hope he's okay. But it'll be unknown at this point if he's going to come back into this ball game. Looks like they're actually going to sub in. It's like Luke Lewis is actually going to go in. So we have 2nd and 8. Roman in motion. Cohen. Quick swing pass out to him. Trying to get across the 20-yard line. He does, and he's ripped down just shy of the 15-yard line. You heard a little bit of a couple of oohs and ahs from the crowd. They wanted a horse collar, but that was teetering on the edge of a penalty.
It was back here. It was underneath. He didn't go in and under. He was on the back, right where the cross is, above the number on the back of the Holy Spirit uniforms.
That's the way to kind of get away with it right there. So we have about 3rd, and we'll call it 3rd and 4. Holy Spirit trying to answer, but of course, at this point, a field goal would tie it, but we know AJ Russo. If you're this deep, you're going for it. It's 4-down territory.
Big thing here is if it is a pass, don't take a sack.
Cohen swinging out to Roman, and he's going to make a man miss. Cohen cutting up the gut. Lost the five near the goal line, and he's just shy of the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal. Gavin Roman. Some sweet feet from the little man.
He was, and that's the advantage that he brings to the table. That's why they want him to get him into space so he's able to make the moves. And that time, Mahmoud made the tackle just prior to the goal line. But 4 cracks from the, 2 for Holy Spirit here with now Michael Weaver in the backfield.
Just inside the 3-yard line here, 1st and goal. Cohen. Handoff, Weaver up the gut. Touchdown, Holy Spirit, and they are back in front. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. So that is the answer Spartans needed.
Oh, so it's going to be one of those types of nights, because that's not what I was expecting as I was getting ready for today's game. That we have, 5 touchdowns in the first half already?
We are going back and forth. Seesaw affair here. I'm sure everybody's heart rates are starting to rise and go down, at an unhealthy rate.
It's almost like halftime's coming at the perfect time.
Forte on for the extra point, 2 of 2 tonight. And make it 3 of 3. 21-17, Holy Spirit out back in front. Under 2 minutes to go in the half, and now St. Joe's, they stole all the momentum with 17 unanswered points, but now Holy Spirit kind of puts that back to an even keel, despite the fact they're up by 4 points, of course.
So
we'll see how the Wildcats respond.
Well, that's interesting with a $1:56 left. So you have a 2-minute drill possibility, and you have experience at the St. Joe's skill positions with Prevard and with Haley and with Cartagena. Like, they had the ability to, again, have a quick strike type of offense. But it's definitely been a game of big plays for both sides.
St. Joe's, don't forget, only has 2 timeouts remaining. They used one back in the first quarter. We'll see how they respond now.
Be interesting to see what St. Joe's does on first down if they don't gain a big chunk. I would wonder if Coach Russo would try to steal even more momentum and call timeout. We've watched that happen with them, especially late. So
it's all about the gamesmanship now. As we mentioned before, Holy Spirit won the toss today, and they elected to receive. So St. Joe's, you got less than 2 minutes. They might be thinking about a 2-for-1. There's a squib kick on the ground. It's loose, and the ball's still loose. Oh, man. Holy Spirit nearly stole one there, but St. Joe's will fall on the football as Richard Chandler saved the day there for the Wildcats.
You and I both saw the same thing. It looked like it was going to squirt out under the arm, and a couple Holy Spirit players were starting to come in. We're starting to close in, but here we go. Ball round the St. Joe's 40. Be interested to see what they do on first down. If it's a clock stopping play where the incompletion or an out of bounds play, obviously that takes the timeout out. But we'll see what happens.
Well, Brevard has shown he can air it out. Taking over for Jaden Schertle this year. And now we have whistles.
Timeout, Holy Spirit.
That's Spirit's first of the half. They have 2 remaining. Hey, you mentioned it. There's that time. There's that timeout already from Russo on the sideline.
Not where I was expecting it to be called, but it's one of those things. He knows they've just taken back the lead. With 1:56 to go, he wants to make sure, and I don't think they were happy with the matchups that they had on the outside. So I think it's going to be one of those situations where you had I'm trying to remember who was. Haley was far on this double slot. Haley was far out. Mercado was on the inside. They had a linebacker taking out the inside, but if Mercado had taken off on a seam route down the hashes, it could have been a big play for St. Joe's.
Just a reminder, we will name our Mad Dog Morgan player of the game at the conclusion, of course. And usually I have a idea of who's going to win already. At this point, a tight game like this, I have no idea now. Everyone's contributing so far to this 4-point Spirit lead. 1st and 10 for St. Joe's at their own 39-yard line. Mayfield in the backfield. Brevard, quick throw, left side. Mahmoud trying to make a cut in. Michael Francisco. I mean, my goodness, what a hit. Tackle for loss. Nowhere to go.
And a nice job that time by Francisco going outside or going inside out. Once the ball was in the air, he got outside and made that tackle. And because that's one of the things you're worried about with a skill guy. If he makes a move and breaks it, and if it's man-to-man, it could be a big play. But this time Francisco gets him down to the ground, and it's 2nd and 12.
Loss of 2 on that play. Clock's still running. St. Joe's has 2 timeouts, but got to use them wisely. Brevard, back, looking, going deep once. Haley, right side. Oh, he made the catch! Inside the 30. Jakir Haley making his former school pay. My goodness.
Did a nice job getting his hands up and making it a hands catch. Last time he was down the sideline, the ball kind of got into his breadbasket, and once he hit, it bounced out. That time, he caught it at the high point, and Coles didn't turn around to see the ball, and St. Joe's in business at the 30.
Chains were reset rather fast, so the clock does continue now. Under a minute to go. St. Joe's hanging on to the last 2 timeouts. Brevard, handoff, Mayfield up the gut, carrying defenders with them. Cost of 25. McDevitt, the first one in on the stop there for Holy Spirit. And now we're going to get a stoppage, and I believe this is going to be a St. Joe's timeout. It is. They have 1 left.
Interesting there. Haley, both times, good coverage by Holy Spirit, but not turning around to look for the ball. So when you're in that one-on-one coverage, you're on that island by yourself, and he was by himself both times. He was there, but it's one of those things he's got to turn around and see the ball coming and maybe be able to rip the ball out, knock the ball away, make a tip, or do whatever he needs to do.
We've seen St. Joe's take more deep shots in this second quarter, and it's paid off so far. Long touchdown before to Cartagena. And now that time to Haley down the sideline and getting them deeper into Holy Spirit territory. Cartagena has the touchdown reception from Brevard from before. But, of course, St. Joe's also scoring on defense.
Yes.
As Cartagena has another touchdown, but they had a pick 6 before in this quarter. And they're using special teams as well at Delgazo field goal. So they've scored in all 3 areas so far tonight. But they are moving once again. Ball spotted at the 29. beg your pardon, 24-yard line. Second down and 5.
Double slot again for St. Joe's.
Brevard dropping straight back, rolling to his left. Pressure, trying to escape the rush he does to the right side. Brevard will take off and run, forced out of bounds by Francisco. We'll see where they mark him out.
About 23-yard line, look like.
Wasn't much. But he might have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage, maybe another half yard, but it'll be third down. They're going to give him a yard. 3rd and 4 now.
And he kept his eyes downfield, looking, trying to make that play, knowing that he's in the final 30 seconds, trying to make a play downfield, but it just nothing ever opened up. And actually, the St. Joe's receivers almost like clumped together in the middle of the field. I'm thinking that somebody, and I saw Mercado bang his helmet, I'm thinking somebody ran a wrong route.
3rd and 4. 34 seconds to go in the half. St. Joe's trails 21-17. Mahmoud comes in motion. Now Mercado. Look at the jet sweep. Mercado
Pass.
looking to throw. He's going to get chased down and brought down. It's loose. It's on the ground. It's picked up by Gavin Rowan. Now they're going to rule him down. So hold the phone. The clock will continue to run, but they're going to rule Mercado down. Lucky break there for St. Joe's. Michael Weaver made the tackle for loss. And now St. Joe's will spend their final timeout of the half with 19 seconds to go.
Well, it was interesting. St. Joe's was in a double slot formation, and they brought Mercado into almost like a wingback or a slot back formation and had the handoff, and you could tell right away because as soon as he never put the ball away. You could tell right away, and Stewart had come up on Cartagena. That's who they were looking to try to get the ball to, was Cartagena there. But it was sniffed out by the Holy Spirit defense. They had good pressure, again, inside out, and were able to push that play and get good coverage down the field from Stewart.
Well, 47 yards is a bit too long for Delgaza right here to cut the lead to 1. So I would imagine on 4th down, they're going to have Brevard try to nail one deep to the end zone on a bit of a Hail Mary situation here with just 19 seconds left. So, I mean, even if it's picked off, it'll serve as basically a deep corner punt. Haley to the bottom of your screen, Mercado on the slot, 2 receivers up top. Brevard, straight back, down the left sideline. Once Cartagena, incomplete.
Well done. Who was that coming over?
Good coverage. Good coverage by the Holy Spirit defensive backfield. Looks like Eric Roman on the coverage on the initial pass breakup along with George Coles.
Coles had good coverage, and then Roman came over as the roving safety came over and knocked it, again, high-pointed it, knocked it away as Cartagena tried to go up and get it.
12 seconds to go in the half. Holy Spirit might be content here with just taking a knee and getting into the locker room with the lead. They are backed up. I mean, they're only at their own 30-yard line. But if they're at midfield, I wouldn't rule out something big here.
If he goes under center, they're taking a knee.
And the rare occasion where Trevor Cohen does go under center. They take a knee. Good call there, Dennis. As we're going to wind the clock now, we're going to head to halftime. What a game. 24 minutes down, 24 to go. So at the half, it is Holy Spirit 21, St. Joe's 17. Don't go away. We'll be back for the second half of the Holy War. We got a good one brewing. Don't go away. You're watching New Jersey High School Football. 17. The Spartans are out in front of the Wildcats right now. Back and forth affair. 14-0 lead for Spirit early on. 17 unanswered points for the Wildcats, and then the Spartans got back out in front late in that first half. And Dennis, we've had a back and forth game. This is a lot tighter than I think a lot of people expected tonight.
So, Nick, it was interesting. We talked about the alluding to Holy Spirit came out by scoring those 14 points, punching St. Joe's in the face. St. Joe's punch back was 17. I'm not going to say the Holy Spirit punched back. I'm going to say maybe a jab back to take the lead back at 21-17. But, again, we're going to talk about.
Ball's loose, and looks like Holy Spirit could not get it. St. Joe's does fall on the football. Looks like James Matano won with the recovery. And we are ready for the second half of play now. Once again, good field position there for St. Joe's to start things out on this drive.
May have to ask Coach Russo and the defensive staff if the reason why they do that on special teams is to keep the yardage numbers down.
Could be. Hey, beef up them defensive stats. Not a bad way to do it. Yeah, our opponents only average about 30 yards a drive. Well, you gave up, 24 points.
Exactly.
That's the catch-22 of it, of course. Only 17 tonight. 1st and 10 here for Brevard and company. Mayfield gets the handoff left side, and he's tackled by a host of Spartan defenders. Lanos in on the stop, among others, along with Francisco.
Shocking Francisco getting up from the pile as well, as he's been everywhere. And he was one of the kids last week against DeMatha that he was all over the field and looked like he fit in and could play against that level of competition every single week.
I mean, I'm just trying to give the other Spartans on the field some love out there. But there's a lot of gang tackling tonight, but Francisco, of course, in the middle of it all. No gain on the play for Mayfield, so it is 2nd and 10.
So it's great to be back here tonight, Nick. It's just a great atmosphere.
We talk about a return home crowd for Holy Spirit here tonight. 2nd and 10. Brevard. Straight drop. Screen pass, the high pass, and that's Crew with the catch across midfield. He's got the first down. So St. Joe's little life on this drive, and there's that man again, Francisco with the tackle.
Francisco came outside in, but Jameer Smith was also chasing it down from behind. He saw he was being unblocked to the quarterback, and he's like, you know what, maybe not. And so he decided to turn around. He put his head on a swivel and saw that the receiver was behind him and was able to help track him down as well.
Zach Crew at the 6', 385-pound junior. He had to go up for that ball, so if that ball maybe a little bit lower, might have a few more yards there. 1st and 10, though, in Holy Spirit territory here for St. Joe's. Brevard, quick throw, right side, Cartagena with the catch and run, trying to get up to the 40-yard. Ball came out. Whose guy? Holy Spirit says they have it. And waiting on the signal. St. Joe's is pointing the other way as well. And, wow, that is St. Joe's ball. I didn't see a clear recovery anyway. Cartagena.
Might have been Mercado that came out of it.
Cartagena, I didn't even see him drop the football. There was a huge scrum for, and all of a sudden Holy Spirit nearly took it out.
They were definitely trying to strip him as he was going down to the ground. That's something I know that they work on during practice is the strip drill. And it looked like it did pop out, but I think Mercado was the one who came out of the pile with the ball.
Well, Cartagena gets that 1-yard gain. It looked like Mercado with the recovery. It definitely came out. The referee threw the little bag down. 2nd and 9. St. Joe's now eating up a bit of a chunk of the clock here on this opening drive. Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Some confusion, and we're going to get a timeout.
They were trying to get Cartagena lined up in the correct spot. He first started to go out to the slot. Then he came back in to be a wingback. Then he was in the backfield, and then at that point, Sacco said, you know what, let's just call timeout.
They burn one early, and as of course, that's the broadcaster's jinx right there. Yeah, they're methodically moving down the field right now. Timeout.
Right. And in a game like this where there's been so many swings and momentum, you really don't want to use one 2.5 minutes into the third quarter. Now, if Normain was listening, and he was Steve Normain, the athletic director here at Holy Spirit High School, he would have expected if I was coaching, to have already called a timeout, because he always used to bust my chops that I would call a timeout 30 seconds into the game if I wasn't happy with something, which at times I would.
It's like burning a hole in your pocket there.
Exactly.
9:36 to go in the third. 2nd and 9 here for St. Joe's. Brevard. Back. Going deep once Mercado, and it is incomplete. Nearly picked. That was Eric Roman on the coverage. Nearly had it. Looked like he was shaking up, but he got up pretty quickly, so he is all good. But that was a near disaster right there for St. Joe's.
Yeah, you're in a position. You're in a position where you have good field position. It was only 2nd down. It's not like it was 3rd down. Now it's 3rd down. They have taken multiple deep shots, and have been for the most part have been pretty successful with it. So I think they're trying to loosen up that Holy Spirit defense, especially the linebackers, and making them take drops so that they're able to try to run the ball later on, maybe in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 9. Just shy of the Spirit 40-yard line.
Double slot.
Mercado, the man at the bottom of your screen, and we're going to get movement. And it looks like the indication is on Holy Spirit.
Right over the nose. Ball's right in front of him. That is Robert McDevitt. Ball literally he's right on the nose and got caught on the count. Brevard went hard count.
Got a little antsy there. Now that's a big penalty. Now it's 3rd and 4.
And a much more manageable situation. And opens up the playbook as well.
Brevard, straight drop, right side, incomplete. Looking in the direction of Mercado. Cole's on the coverage. It'll be 4th down. And it's early in the 3rd quarter. You're only down by 4, but Holy Spirit seemed to wake up. And as I say that, they're going to take the offense off the field. So here comes Delgazo. Of course, too long for a field goal, so I imagine a punt is coming here.
Yeah, that would be a bomb. Be a 53, 54-yarder. And you don't want to give up field position. Again, that's what we talked about. You went down 14-0. You clawed back. You took the lead. Now you're down 21-17. Now make them go. Make them run. Make them go the distance.
I mean, Delgazo has a leg.
Uncovered at the top, but they don't take advantage of that.
There's the punt. That's a good one by Delgazo. Look at this one roll, but it's going to take a Holy Spirit friendly-ish bounce. But still, they'll pin him down at the 10-yard line, and Holy Spirit backed up on their first drive here in the second half.
Nick, that looked like your 9-iron. Spun right at the 10.
I only wish I could hit my 9-iron that well.
Well, I know it's not my 9-iron, that's for sure.
I'll have the occasional shot where I hit a 9-iron, maybe about a good 100 yards, and it's right on the green. Other times, I'm going to whiff at it, and it's going to go dead right. And I'm a righty.
So that's not good.
I would say that's definitely not good.
Interesting to see how Holy Spirit comes out and plays this deep in their own end to start the second half.
And the shotgun is Cohen. Roman goes in motion to the right side. Here comes Cohen up the gut himself. He'll be brought down. Looks like Murray on the tackle. And Cohen's only going to get about a half yard, maybe 1. 2nd down coming up.
And again, it's a call. It's a keep, and it's, as our illustrious PA announcer on the other end of the press box said, it is absolutely a keeper. Don't shake your head. You are illustrious. It is a keeper. It's not that draw, so they're not looking to draw defenders up the field. He's just looking to keep it and go, especially when they motion out to an empty backfield.
Gave him some more forward progress than I initially thought. So 2nd and 8, maybe 8.5. Roman, the motion man again. Cohen, flustered, coming to his left now, trying to get rid of it. He'll just toss it, and that will not be grounding. He was well outside the tackle box. 3rd down coming up now for the Spartans.
Also had Stewart in the area as well. Yeah, 11 was there as well. So, as long as it was in a situation where they were able to get it past the line of scrimmage. An interesting call there to kind of split the field. With it now being 3rd down, it's one of those things maybe you like to try to get it to like maybe a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 4, try to be manageable. But interested to see what the play call will be here. Looking for, again, Stewart, intermediate.
He's up in the slot up top. Roman up top, Burns to the lower side of your screen.
Haley, yep,
back. Going up for Smith, then he overshot him. Mercado in on the coverage. And just like that, that's going to be a 3-and-out for Holy Spirit. They're on the punt. So both teams mustering not too much on offensively to begin this second half. 8:20 to go. Spirit's still in front, but now since they are backed up in their own territory, so they're going to need a good punt.
And more of what we expected.
Expected more of a grinded out type of game, but we had a back and forth affair in the first half.
So again, not really twin safeties. This one, it's just going to be. Is that Cartagena back deep again for St. Joe's?
And Mercado deep. Cartagena the up man.
Up back. That's right.
Here's Mercado. He'll get a chance. Got a block, and he'll be breaking a tackle up to the 35-30. Mercado down the sideline and just forced out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. Boy, that was near disaster for Holy Spirit as Marcus Lewis gets the force out there for the Spartans.
And he was the last one. If Mercado had been able to stay in bounds and get down further, he probably would have been able to get in because he was the last Spartan that was on that sideline.
Marcus Lewis, the senior, sitting at 5'10", 205 pounds, one of those outside linebackers for the Spartan defense, and he made basically made a touchdown-saving force-out/tackle right there. St. Joe's now in the red zone, ball spotted at the 20.
And in scoring position, even if they don't get a touchdown.
Delgado's got a leg.
He's got a leg. He's got the ability to hit that from here.
He hit a 37-yarder last week in his lone field goal attempt, so he can boot it. I would say his range is probably around 40 yards. Brevard, handoff. This is Mayfield, tripped up immediately. Eric Roman on the stop as Mayfield gets maybe about a yard or so.
As St. Joe's went double tight there, they brought everybody in, everybody within the to the tackle, basically tight ends, tackle boxes. It's what we used to call double tight formation. Holy Spirit brought everybody up into the box area, and a nice job by Roman to fill the gap as there was a cutback lane, and Roman was there to trip him up and make the tackle. This is more of the plotting.
Yeah, they're definitely going to use up some clock here. They know Holy Spirit's offense can explode at any second. But St. Joe's knocking on the door here, trying to take the lead back. They scored 17 unanswered points in the first half, take a 17-14 lead. Second down, we'll call it 9. Brevard fakes it, no one's home, pressure coming, and he's brought down. And looks like that will be a sack. And that looks like Marcus Lewis with the stop. Loss of about a half a yard, so give him a sack. Third down.
On that left side of the St. Joe's line, there's been a lot of pressure coming from that left side of the St. Joe's line. I think it's
we have a man down for St. Joe's.
Is it Brevard?
That might be Brevard. Actually, it looks like it is Brevard, St. Joe's quarterback.
Cramp, probably when he overextended to dive to get back to the 20-yard line.
They're looking at his left leg. Yeah, and they're stretching him out, so it appears to be a cramp. James Matano is listed as the backup quarterback for St. Joe, so we'll see if he gets in. He plays also a little wing back, running back. He'll do it all on offense. He's listed as the backup right now, even if it is for one play.
Similar situation last week, early in the game against DeMatha, where Trevor Cohen was on a run play. Helmet popped off, had to come out of the game, and Holy Spirit had to send a freshman backup into the game on a third down type of situation. So, or it might even been fourth down, I think, last week. So it's one of those things that
he appears to be okay. He's going to walk up under his own power. He is limping a little bit, though. Well, third and long now for St. Joe's. Matano is in. Third and 10. Matano under center, two backs behind him. Takes it, play fake, looking to throw, pressure coming, trying to escape the rush, tosses it downfield, and it is, it's caught. short of the first down, but that is Zach Cruitt with the catch. Give him about 7+ on that play. It'll be 4th down. So now you have decision time here for St. Joe's.
Nice job by Cruitt that time, the 6'3 tight end, the junior tight end, as Montuano rolled out. Cruitt went with him and made a nice sliding catch towards the sideline to get it into a 4th and 4.
Looks like they're going to leave the offense out there with 6:10 and counting to go here in the third quarter. St. Joe's down by 4. Field goal does them no good other than cut the lead to 1. Matano's still in there. 2 receivers each side. Matano, quick handoff. It's Mayfield. He's got some room in front of him. First down and a lot more. Mayfield, touchdown St. Joe's. Wildcats back in front. What an answer.
Nice job that time by St. Joe's. They were able to fire off the ball. Quick snap, fire off the ball, created multiple lanes. Holy Spirit looked like they were in a very wide set. The double slot formation will do that. It'll spread them out. Ultimately, they got spread out. There were multiple lanes that Mayfield were able to hit, and he was able to hit it and go right into the end zone for the touchdown.
Delgado on for the extra point. This one's up and good. Nice. 24-21 St. Joe's out in front, and Delgado is 3 of 3 tonight.
Nice job by Mercado, Cole Mercado that time on the hold. The snap was on the opposite shoulder. He was able to get it down, and Delgado was able to bury it to give the Wildcats a 3-point lead.
Well, you wanted a good game. You came to the right place. You mentioned before, Dennis, the crowd back here tonight. You know, it's wonderful to see this on a gorgeous Friday night here in early September. You know, after last year we had limited/no attendance amid the COVID season across football. You know, basically across almost the entire country, at all levels, high school, college, and NFL, of course. But it's just it's night and day now, here from last year to this fall.
And I know the kids are thankful for it. I know the parents are thankful for it. It's one of those things. It's even last year as administrators, we were only limited into certain games that we were able to go to. And I unfortunately, my wife contracted COVID in November. I missed the whole run of the West Jersey playoff bracket and Thanksgiving and all that. So I'm absolutely grateful to be back here in a position to be back at football games on Friday night.
Packed house here at Ed Burns Stadium, especially below us with Holy Spirit fans. A lot of alum back, of course.
Especially with it being Labor Day weekend.
Across the way, St. Joe's Wildcat faithful out in full swing as well. Delgado to boot it deep for St. Joe's. And Gavin Roman will get an opportunity to return from the 5. Roman up the gut, has a seam across the 30, and he's ripped down right there. That's where Holy Spirit will start their next drive. And let's see if they can answer the St. Joe's touchdown as Murray made the tackle on that kickoff for the Wildcats.
You see the difference between Roman and Stewart on kickoff returns. Roman is just going to put his head down and look to get as far up the field as he can without hesitation.
So one-cut type of guy.
Yes, very much so.
We have whistles. I think St. Joe's just called their second timeout.
Wow.
Well, Pavard, how about that? Jason Pavard, the quarterback, also, he does play both ways. He plays in the defensive backfield. He is coming back into the game. Seems to be all right, walking fine. But that's going to be a timeout for St. Joe's, and I don't know. I mean, that's a little costly. They have one left in this half, or the game, I should say.
Yeah,
they might have had to burn one to get him back in the game.
And we're only halfway through the third quarter. There's plenty of time left and only have one timeout. And a game that's been as back and forth as this game has been, it could be a situation where whoever's got the ball last could be the winner.
On 1st and 10, the handoff up the gut goes to Weaver. He crosses the 35-yard line. Nice little gain on first down. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Spartans.
I just think that Holy Spirit will have more success letting their offensive line block downhill and run between the tackles and give the opportunities to Weaver and give the opportunities to Roman, even Roman between the tackles. He's not going to hurt you.
On second down, Cohen, another handoff to Weaver up the gut, lowering the shoulder, tackled by a host of Wildcat defenders. Gain of a few, so it will be third down. First down marker up at the 42. So they're inching closer. About 3rd and 3 coming up now for Holy Spirit.
The interesting thing is, and people that are watching that know me and know who I am, and they've been sending me texts, and Weaver looks like he's down.
And Weaver looks like the injured Spartan, so they're going to go check on him. He's pointing. I think he's pointing at his leg. Remains to be seen. He is seated upright.
Yep. But they're asking what has happened to Stewart. Why has Stewart not been part of the game? I'm not going to say game plan, but part of the plays.
And he's been pretty much taken out of the game so far since that first drive of the game.
He has been quiet, and the question is it why is that the case? I think that St. Joe's defense has done a nice job where they're slanting to him. They always have a safety over the top, whatever side he is on. If Holy Spirit doesn't line up in a double slot, they have a safety. Even if there's only one, even if he's the only receiver on that side, they have a safety over the top, helping. So it's almost like they're double covering him. That's where you might want to look to try to get him underneath on some rub routes, even on crossing routes, so that way it's not just straight 9s that he's running or deep 8s. You get him more on rub routes and slants and get him across the middle of the field where he had some success early on. You might be able to have that going forward.
Well, Weaver seems to be all right, walking under his own power. No assistance, and might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. He had the last 2 carries. 3rd and 3 now for Holy Spirit. They find themselves trailing once again in this contest.
So here you see it. Stewart over here by himself. Mercado and Brevard over the top.
Stewart at the bottom of your screen. Cohen tried the hard count there. Cohen takes it. Handoff. Roman up the gut. Breaks free. Gavin Roman. Goodbye. Touchdown. Holy Spirit.
Between the tackles? it was one of those things.
He could do it all.
And they pinched. You could see it when you go back and look at it, and I know the coaches will look at it, but St. Joe's kind of pinched, and the linemen did a great job of turning them and created that lane for Roman. And as soon as he got past that front line, it was over because everybody was inside the box.
Gavin Roman gave the little Michael Jordan shrug, saying, hey, give it to me up the gut. Watch what happens. St. Joe's not prepared for that one with that burst of speed. Now Eric Roman is quickly sprinting back out onto the field for the extra point unit. As Forte looking to go 4 of 4 tonight. Spirit back up 27-24 pending this extra point. On the way.
Bang.
And that would have been good from about 35. That one's good. 28-24. Holy Spirit back out in front. 4:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Once again, back and forth we go. We got ourselves an early candidate for ball game of the year.
Oh, and I know Mike Frankel's here shooting for Jersey Sports Zone, so I'm sure we will be seeing some sort of.
I saw the whole shebang, the whole gang down there.
Yeah, they're all there. I can see them all down there.
You got Mike Frankel down there. You got Dave O'Sullivan, Pete Thompson's down there, Mike McGarry from the Press of AC, of course. I mean, the whole gang's out here for tonight's edition of the Holy War.
Mark Narducci's here. Like, we got people from all over the place. Is that Mark Tribal too? Do I see Mark down there?
Mark Tribal is down there as well. Yep.
They're all here.
We are going to get a hats off tonight as well.
And it's all over the place. It's one of those things. You're looking at, if it's a St. Joe's win, probably Cartagena right now. Holy Spirit side, it's all over the place. You've had everybody step up and make a contribution from the Holy Spirit side, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, we are all over the place in terms of production for Holy Spirit. And as a reminder, we will name the Mad Dog Morgan player of the game at the game's conclusion for the Holy Spirit Spartans, win or lose, of course. It's hard to pick somebody because everyone has contributed. Obviously, you see Cohen's doing a great job back there. And Sean Burns had a huge touchdown. Gavin Roman with that latest touchdown. I mean, it's nuts right now.
So different tee situation this time. So Feliciano looks like, but same idea. He's going to kick it.
Yeah, that one's
short.
on the ground, and St. Joe's might have a chance at a return here. This is Kirkland trying to get to the edge across the 45, and boy, talk about getting banged around. He had about 3 Spartan defenders knock him to the turf. But St. Joe's, once again, Holy Spirit's fine with it. They'll let St. Joe's start near midfield on this next drive.
Yep, keeping it out of the hands of the true skill players for St. Joe's so they don't get beat deep. But it's whenever you see somebody like that, if you don't stay in your lanes as a kickoff coverage team and he starts going across the field like that, you start to eliminate tacklers. But luckily, Jaden Llanos was there to make the tackle.
Quamir Kirkland, the freshman for St. Joe's, nearly got to the edge, and he had a lot of green grass in front of him. Brevard back in there at quarterback, 1st and 10 from the 46. Straight drop, throws to the left, caught, and getting run out of bounds is Haley. Gain of a few, second down coming up.
Stewart, it looks like Stewart's playing Haley straight up. Anytime, at least the last couple times that I've looked, anytime that Haley has wherever he's lined up, Stewart has been there with him. But that could be a setting up of a little slant and go. So when you see a play like that, you got to worry about that down the road. Again, double slot for St. Joe's.
2nd and 7. Hand off, Mayfield up the gut, hurdles a man, running through defenders. Weaver brings him down along with Marcus Lewis, but not before he gets a first down, and St. Joe's gets a fresh set.
So St. Joe's having success in spreading out Holy Spirit in that double slot and running the ball right up the middle. The interior linemen for Holy Spirit need to do a better job of filling the holes and keeping their blockers occupied so the linebackers, specifically the middle linebacker, has the ability to come in and make the tackle.
1st and 10 from the Holy Spirit 44. Brevard. Trying to hit him with the hard count here.
Yep.
Straight drop again. Brevard airing it deep to the right side. Cartagena makes the catch. No, he dropped it. Ball's on the ground, and they're going to rule it incomplete. He thought he caught it and then fumbled it. Holy Spirit loves it. St. Joe's hates it, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, it was one of those, there was a lot of hand fighting, and Cartagena did a nice job of getting inside the defender and getting up and trying to catch it at the high point, but truly the Holy Spirit defender had his hand in there the entire time, so I don't believe he ever had full possession of the ball. And then once it hit the ground, the back judge made the call.
Very close, but he never possessed the football. Otherwise, that was a nice little quick scoop and score. Good awareness there by Cartagena.
It was.
Nonetheless, 2nd and 10.
But again, another deep shot taken by St. Joe's, and they're finding success with it.
Brevard back again, looking, flushed, going to run, and he's hit hard as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, we're going to get a flag. That's going to be a I want to say he was late hit or targeting or however you roll it, hit to the head. He was down.
Because you could hear it, but I also think there was something else going on in the interior of the line where there might have been a hit to the head.
That flag came in as soon as Brevard was hit, right back at the line of scrimmage. The referees are conferencing.
St. Joe's pointing at Holy Spirit. Personal foul. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Against St. Joe's, and it looked like there was something that did happen. So Brevard went forward. Something happened, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say a crackback, but there was a hit, and it was a helmet-to-helmet hit within that, and it's a 15-yard penalty. That's the one that I saw, and when I saw that, his flag came out right away, so that's why I was thinking that's what it was going to be, a targeting call against St. Joe's. It was almost like a peel-back block, and he hit him high and he hit him in the head.
This game getting a little chippy now. You can see Jay Sean Teller for Holy Spirit gesturing towards the St. Joe's crowd on the opposite sideline. 2nd and very long.
Yes.
Brevard
Draw
to Mayfield. Got some space, breaks away, breaks another tackle across the 50-yard line, lowering the shoulder, and he gets a lot of that penalty yardage back. As it looks like Gavin Cole's on the stop, basically stopping a runaway train right there.
Well, he picked his way, and he did a nice job of picking his way through the defenders and making guys miss. I mean, when you're doing a draw like that, a lot of times when it becomes a big play, that's what ends up happening, is that you have a guy making guys miss, and he made multiple guys miss, and now makes this more manageable at 3rd and 15 as opposed to the 3rd and 28 that it was.
Beg your pardon, that was George Cole's. 3rd and 15 now for St. Joe's. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Back and forth we've gone. Spirit on top by 4. And the last touchdown from Gavin Roman.
Again, wide splits on the defense for Holy Spirit.
Brevard back again. Going deep, right sideline for Cartagena. A lot of hand fighting, incomplete. He wanted a flag, but
good no call.
No call on the field. 2 defenders in the area. It was Coles and Roman. 4th down, and here comes the punting unit for the Wildcats.
That was a good no call. The ball was overthrown, even though I know in high school there is no such thing as overthrown, but that was one of those things I don't think he impeded his progress in terms of making the catch. Stewart back in single safety for Holy Spirit as Delgado gets ready to take the snap.
They've kept it away from him for the most part, even on this play.
Oh,
high punt. Stewart going back. He's going to watch it, and he's going to let it bounce right in front of him. They're going to down it just inside the 10-yard line. Another great punt there from Delgado. He's been doing it all tonight. Has a field goal and 3 extra points tonight, and he's been doing a great job in the punting game as well. So 1:07 to go here in the third quarter. Holy Spirit on top, 28-24, but now they have a chance to go back up by 2 scores, but they will have to go 91 yards to do it.
Long way to go, and if it's going to be one of those, this is going to be one of those drives. This could be one of those signature drives that if they're able to go the 91 yards, grind it out, take some time off the clock, and then take a 2-score lead.
Oh, Cohen, quick handoff up the gut to Roman. They tried that again. He'll gain a few. That time St. Joe's ready for the speedster.
Cohen did a nice job handling that snap as it was down around his knee. He's looking for it waist high, but down around his knee, did a nice job and was able to get the ball to Roman and not fumble the exchange.
.37 seconds and counting.
Will be the final play of the third quarter.
2nd and 8 now for Holy Spirit. Stewart, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Cohen.
Oh, maybe
play
not.
fake, looking, going deep, wants Jameer Smith. Oh! Makes a catch across the 45-yard line, brought down by Cartagena. The deep shot, Jameer Smith getting behind the defense, and Holy Spirit is into St. Joe's territory.
I know new basketball head coach Kyle Dines happy to see that. He sees the athleticism with Stewart coming back probably to the basketball team and Jameer Smith making that catch, and he did exactly what you're supposed to, run through the ball. Don't try to jump and catch it, just run through it. Cohen put it in a perfect spot. Smith tracked it down, and that should be the last play, as I said, of the third quarter. I was shocked that they threw it, but nice play.
A deep shot. They'll break the huddle. They're going to give St. Joe's a look, but that's it. We'll flip sides, and we'll head to the fourth quarter. So after 12 minutes to go, Holy Spirit 28, St. Joe's 24. You're watching New Jersey High School Football.
With the score, St. Joe Wildcats 24 and the Holy Spirit Spartans 28.
Fourth quarter action here. Holy Spirit, St. Joe's. Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith. We got a great one here tonight. On first down, Cohen pump fakes. Going downfield, and it's Lanos with the catch. He's inbounds. Another first down for Holy Spirit. Woo!
Great adjustment on the back shoulder throw by Cohen. Llanos got his feet down and again made the catch away from his body so that way it wouldn't be able to be knocked away. And now Holy Spirit is starting to find other options in the passing game that may now loosen up some things, not only with the run game after hitting the big play with Roman to take the lead, but also maybe loosen some things up for Stewart as well.
His first catch of the season. 1st and 10 now for Holy Spirit. Knock on the door of the red zone. They're up by 4, trying to make it a 2-score game again. Cohen play fake again. Pressure going deep to the end zone for Jameer Smith. Overshot him just by a hair. 2nd down now for the Spartans.
Again, good throw, though. It's a throw that only his guy is going to be able to make that catch.
We'll talk about the gunslinger mentality right now. Spirit is taking shot after shot.
I'd like to see Trevor settle his feet down, though, and make that throw. Like, settle his back foot. It looks like he's got a little bit of happy feet because he's getting some pressure up in the middle. Just set and throw and put a little bit more air under it to let Smith run under it like he did on the big play to get here.
Cohen, handoff up the gut. Gavin Roman trying to break free again. He's across the 15-yard line. He's going to have enough for a first down. St. Joe's tracks him down. That time, Cartagena among those in on the stop. But now, Holy Spirit, they are trying to get this game not necessarily out of reach, but they're going to try to make it much more difficult now for St. Joe's.
And the thing about it is watching Gavin Roman run, and we've been spoiled here in the last decade with running backs at Holy Spirit, but he's a different type of runner. He's a guy that's going to run away from you, whereas Patrick Smith could run over you and run away from you. You're not running. Gavin's not going to be running a bunch of guys over.
Cohen quickly on first down, flush to his right, looking towards the end zone. Going to fire one into the corner, and it is. Is that intercepted? Waiting on the ruling.
Bad decision.
Intercepted. Cartagena touchback in the end zone. Oh, that is a killer. Cartagena, his 2nd pick of the night. He had a pick 6 earlier, and St. Joe's is alive.
Just throw it away. You've already broken the pocket. Throw the ball down the field out of bounds, and that way you live to fight another day on 2nd down. I don't know if he was trying to throw it through the back of the end zone, but again, his feet aren't set. And if his feet aren't set, he's not going to be able to get the arm strength behind that ball to throw it over the end line.
It looked like he was trying to like he was indecisive with either throwing it out of the back of the end zone or trying to fit it into a small window, but Cartagena makes him pay. And now St. Joe's has the ball at their own 20-yard line. 11-10 to go in the ball game. They trail by 4. They have a chance now to take the lead right back after they snuff Holy Spirit's attempt to go up by 2 scores. Brevard, handoff right side. This goes Mercado, and he gets to the edge, short of the first down. Got a good chunk, though, 2nd and short coming up.
And ran it to the wide side of the field out of that double tight formation. If he's able to get to that corner, because Holy Spirit brings everybody up into the box, if he's able to get that corner, he's going to run a long way.
2nd and 5. They ruled him out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought he had gotten further as well, but I couldn't see the far sideline.
Well, St. Joe's definitely content. I mean, the clock has stopped as they went out of bounds, but they're definitely content here of trying to burn a lot of clock here to try to take the lead back.
Burn clock and score at the end would be their ultimate drive here. But again, under center, double tight. Wow.
Brevard handoff.
Backdoor.
Mayfield breaking a tackle, getting forward. He's got the first down. George Cole's the first one on the stop, followed by a couple more Spartan defenders.
So they're going to if they're going to go into this double tight formation, they're going to put pressure on the backside defenders because everybody's going to be hat on hat. What's going to end up happening is there's going to be lanes for cutbacks, and defenders are going to have to stay home and stay in their lanes.
1st and 10 now for St. Joe's.
It also takes out the ability, I mean, you could run blitz here, but it also takes out the ability for Holy Spirit to be sending multiple blitzes, although now they go trips, double to the left.
Brevard handoff again to Mayfield. That time didn't go far. Devin Banks sitting on the tackle.
They had the one play, the draw play, where they got success with the touchdown run by spreading out Holy Spirit. Otherwise, they haven't. It's been tough sledding running the ball for St. Joe's unless they've gone into that double tight set, which has been successful for them here in the second half.
Brevard breaks the huddle. Haley will be the lone receiver to the bottom of your screen.
Oh, that's illegal motion
Brevard
against St. Joe's.
Fires to the right side. Mahmoud knocked out of bounds. Flag down, though, as you mentioned.
The slot receiver did not get set and actually moved back, so they could either call it illegal motion or they could call it illegal formation, either or. But he was at movement at the snap of the ball.
Nope, that'll be an illegal motion.
Yep.
Push him back.
Not what St. Joe's is looking for in terms of getting behind the chains a little bit. But the amount of deep shots that they've taken, I don't think they're not thrilled to be in 2nd and 13, but they're not devastated either.
No, not totally devastated. They have the ball. They are trailing, but they do have the ball here.
Yep.
Run that clock. Under 9.5 to play in the ball game. Two receivers each side, and now another timeout on the field. Look like an official's time across the way.
Equipment issue, I guess. Somebody.
Brevard takes it.
Draw.
Mayfield trying to get forward, and he only gets across the 30-yard line. Got a few.
So there was some excitement upstairs because if he had gotten out of that tackle, he was going to go a long way.
Yeah, we felt the booth shake up here. 3rd and 11 now for St. Joe's. Mayfield nearly breaking one to the house.
There were not many Navy jerseys beyond him at that point.
3rd and 11. Mercado and Mahmoud to the bottom of your screen.
Haley in the slot at the top.
Brevard takes it. Going to the right. Missed. Fired on that pass. He was looking for Haley. And it's 4th down. Here comes the punting unit, and with 8:23 left, Holy Spirit will get a chance to get the ball back here. And now, if they get the ball back here, they'll have a chance to really try to put this game out of reach.
So just thinking ahead, you saw that out of the double slot. You saw that an out pattern, which would be like a one pattern. Could be setting up an out and up later on. Just think about that.
There's Delgazo's punt, a good boot. Stewart will get a chance to return, makes one cut, dragged down near by the helmet, no flag. Now we have a late flag across the way.
And that flag came from about 35 yards away.
So apparently the back judge might have seen it.
So I'm impressed. He's got a pretty good arm because throwing flags can be difficult. Necessarily fly correctly.
Wonder if he played quarterback at one point.
So waiting for the official's call.
And will be a face mask on St. Joe's.
So that's going to give Holy Spirit even better field position, as we go into the final 8 minutes here of the game, or the 4th quarter.
That's a costly penalty.
Only 5. Only the garden variety.
The old school.
Yeah.
Ball is spotted near midfield, though. Holy Spirit about to enter St. Joe's territory.
Need to make better decisions this time on this drive. If you're flushed or under pressure, throw it out.
Cohen, handoff. Roman, cut, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Murray in on the tackle. So not much room there for Gavin Roman.
Gavin Roman on the carry. Tackle by number 54. Miles.
Weaver back into the game for Roman.
One.
But Roman right now with one of the plays of the game, you can't say that there was just one play of the game, but the biggest play of the game thus far.
He put him ahead.
Yep, with the go-ahead touchdown, the big run.
He has the de facto game-winning touchdown at the moment. 2nd and 11.
Two receivers right.
Cohen,
one receiver
handoff,
left.
Weaver, bounces out to the outside, keeps spinning across midfield. Gain of a few, 3rd down now for Holy Spirit.
Interesting that time. Cohen got hit late.
Yeah, no flag on the field. You can see Cohen, he is limping a little bit.
That was Miles Solomon. I guess Cohen was probably carrying out his fake. And Solomon just doing assignment football, doing what he needs to do.
He's doing what he was told to do.
That's it.
See quarterback, hit quarterback. Under 7 minutes to play. The Holy Spirit trying to get this 3rd down conversion to keep the clock moving and the chains moving. Stewart, the lone receiver, to the bottom of your screen. Cohen takes the snap, hands off. Weaver trying to get to the edge, breaks one tackle, stumbles across the 45. He dives. And
inbounds.
They rule him inbounds, but short of the 1st down.
4th and 2.
Well, I don't see the offense coming off.
I think he called punt.
Wow, how about this? Rare punt call, but with the lead, with just over 6 minutes to go, head coach A.J. Rooster going to play a little safer here, trying to pin St. Joe's deep in their own territory.
Kick it away from him.
So Stewart, who's been relatively quiet in this game, quieter than usual, he will punt here. Let's see if he can get a good coffin corner here. They'll let that clock bleed as much as possible, though. Up by 4. Stewart's punt coming to the right side, and it's going to go out of bounds and might have shanked it a little bit. We'll see where the referee marks this out. And he's taking a jog, and right at the 30-yard line. That's good eyes.
I don't need to be on the sideline.
That's good eyes, especially at this angle. So 70 yards separates St. Joe's from the lead. 5:46 to go. In fact, quite a game tonight.
And as the game progressed, it got cleaner. It was a little dicey in the beginning, and I think St. Joe's wasn't necessarily up to speed with the defensive holding penalties that they had called on that but it's been a very clean game since then.
Brevard under center, fakes, looking, dropping way back, throws, and it is... Oh, it picked off Gavin Roman! Holy Spirit gets it right back!
Great coverage by Roman, and a nice job by Stewart as well, as Stewart had coverage on Cartagena, who was running the deep route, trying to clear it out, and Roman came underneath. The ball was not completely on target, and if there was a battle for it, Roman took it away.
Gavin Roman with the 2 biggest plays of the night. The go-ahead touchdown and a gigantic interception right there of Brevard.
Now finish it.
5.5 to go. Holy Spirit trying to run this clock down, possibly get one more score to go up by 2 possessions. 1st and 10. Handoff, Weaver hit immediately behind the line of scrimmage. That's McCoy with the tackle, first in there.
St. Joe's has 8 guys in the box because they don't think, or they don't at least respect the fact that Holy Spirit could throw the ball here on this drive.
I mean, Cohen's shown he can throw it deep year after year, and they've hit a couple deep shots here tonight, including the touchdown to Sean Burns.
Here comes Roman back in for Weaver as we get ready for 2nd and 10. And again, it's 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. The receiver right is Stewart. 3 receivers to the top.
Handoff left side, Roman tripped a little bit. He gets across the 35, so he'll get a couple.
Now
going down coming up.
Going to that trips look at the top side. what that did was it took an extra linebacker out for St. Joe, so they had to take a guy out of the box. So that's why Roman was able to have, if he had would have been able to keep his feet, would have had probably a gain of 5 or 6 more yards.
And here's an interesting decision here for head coach A.J. Russo, as Nick Medina is actually going to check in here. You got 4+ minutes to go. If you don't get the first down here and you have 4th down, I mean, you're right around, you're within the first, or you're within the 35-yard line. Do you contemplate a punt, or you just go for it and just hope your defense hangs on for you? But they're going to run this clock down as much as possible, and they will take a timeout. It's their first of the half. So with 4 minutes to go in the ball game, crunch time.
It's the winning time, Nick. This is when you win games. This 4-minute span. If you're able to garner first downs or grind out first downs, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
Humongous 3rd down here for Holy Spirit.
I almost look for a little play action here and a little pop pass. Something short, intermediate route. Especially if St. Joe's comes out with 7 in the box. Try to get somebody on an inside route. Again, if you're going to go trips to that top side, if you want to do that, do a rub route and have somebody coming inside and hopefully get a receiver free that would be crossing and get a first down. St. Joe's down to what? 1 timeout, right?
They have 1 left. They burned 2 early. 3rd and 9. Cohen in the shotgun. He's got Weaver behind him.
A tight trips to the top. Oh.
Cohen stumbles, and now there's a fumble. And I believe Holy Spirit got the ball back. No celebration there from St. Joe's. No. So, woof, that was close.
Weaver was able to get back on it.
That was close, as Cohen's still limping a little bit. He stumbled. And Weaver botched the exchange. Well, they're only at the St. Joe's 35-yard line. It is 4th and 9, so there's no gain on the play. They're a little too close for a punt here, so they are going to go for it. Big gamble here as the clock continues to run. St. Joe's hanging on to that last timeout. 3:20 to go.
Quick kick it.
2 receivers to the left. Cohen.
Nope.
Back, looking to throw, downfield, and it is.
Got him!
Oh, it's caught! Gavin Roman! Touchdown!
Wow!
Gavin Roman! That might do it.
What a catch.
Throw and catch.
But finally, they got other contributions in the passing game that they were able to get. And that's what they needed. With Stewart being taken out, the all-everything receiver, that was an unbelievable catch by Roman. In traffic, guy draped right on him. And Cohen put it the only place it could have been.
They gambled. It paid off. 3:02 to go. Spirit up 34-24. Here's Forte for the extra point. On the way, it is good. 35-24. It's a 2-score game. Trevor Cohen to Gavin Roman. So I will modify that. Gavin Roman now the 3 biggest plays of the night. The initial go-ahead touchdown, the interception, and then the touchdown that might just ice this one.
Good things come in 3s, Nick. He got them all. But hey, give credit to Weaver for recovering that fumble because they don't have that opportunity. You got to give credit to Weaver for getting back on that ball. Great throw, and it's one of those things, and so let's talk about the players that we just talked about making those plays. Weaver, senior. Gavin Roman, junior. Trevor Cohen, senior. Your leadership team, your leadership part has stepped up and made big plays when you needed them in a rivalry game, and a game that you haven't played in front of this many fans in how long? So it's one of those things that great plays made by the leadership of the team.
The Holy Spirit now 3 minutes away from taking home another win in this rivalry. It'll be their 3rd straight win over St. Joe's. 2-score game now. It's not done yet. Feliciano on to kick it. Squib it to the side, and just rolls out of bounds as Lanos jumps on it. Nearly had the recovery, and if Holy Spirit recovers that ball, then I think we could say game over.
Nice job by Swain ushering the ball out of bounds as well, hoping that it was going to take that extra hop, and it did. So it's five from where it went out of bounds? Or no, it goes to the 40. That's right. 35.
Ball at the 35 now for St. Joe's. They trail by 11. And after that last Gavin Roman touchdown, it's like the wind just got sucked out of their sails.
Yes. And there seems to be some foot traffic from the opposite side of the field heading out of Ed Burns Stadium.
Still got 3 minutes to go.
It ain't over yet, though.
Yeah. Still got 3 minutes to go. We have a good game tonight.
They put up 17 points in 6 minutes in the second quarter.
Brevard in the shotgun. Takes it back. Clean pocket, breaking down, and Marcus Lewis in on there for the sack. He was there first. They'll blow it dead, second down.
And Marcus Lewis pushed his offensive lineman into the backfield, and as Brevard started to step up, he had a straight line right at him and finished him off for the sack.
Desperation time now for St. Joe's. Brevard back on second and long. Going deep, wants Mercado, and it is picked off. That's Weaver. And with that interception, that could very well do it. After Holy Spirit looked like they were going to run away with this one, St. Joe's stormed back to take a 17-14 lead. We went back and forth. Holy Spirit led 21-17 at the half. St. Joe's scored first in the third, but then Gavin Roman happened. A touchdown. Gavin Roman took over late in this second half.
And it was a Gavin Roman hat trick.
Touchdown, pick, and a touchdown reception. Excuse me. There's Weaver, who just had the interception. No gain on the play. Will be second down.
No quit by Brevard. Nice job getting into the backfield and pulling Weaver down by his ankles to put Holy Spirit in second and long.
This clock's going to wind now. Holy Spirit going to take their time.
Waiting for the back judge to step out.
What a game here tonight to open up the month of September. Cohen comes out in the shotgun. Got to go quickly. Hand off Weaver. There is a flag down. Probably going to get a legal motion and let this one play out.
Either that or they weren't all set for a second before the snap.
Yeah, Cohen had to rush it there. So will be on Holy Spirit, so back them up. 1:32 to go in the game, though. They're up by 11, so all I could do is pretty much just try to sit on the football here.
The Wildcats only have one timeout left, so that's what's forcing Holy Spirit to run plays. They can't just go into victory formation and take a knee, although after a first down they would be able to.
So the clock stops here.
They take the play, so it's because it's only an illegal motion penalty. It's not a false start. It's not a dead ball penalty, and the clock restarts.
Well, running now, under a minute and a half to go. 3rd and 11. You can see A.J. Russo signaling to Cohen to run the play now after running the clock down. Hand off Weaver right side.
Just hold on to the
football. And he'll be brought down by Haley in the backfield. Under a minute to go, so Holy Spirit does have to run one more play here. They can't let the clock wind all the way down.
Snap it with about 12.
They're going to send the punting unit out. Wouldn't be shocked if Stewart gets the punt here and he just runs around.
Also possible.
Holy Spirit about to get their third straight victory over St. Joe's. A.J. Russo will call Spirit's second timeout of the half with 8 seconds remaining. So they just got to run one more play to run this clock out. It is 4th down, so they'll probably just burn some clock, have somebody run around.
Give it to Gavin Roman.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were 8 seconds away, but we'll say it now. Mad Dog Morgan player of the game is Gavin Roman.
Absolutely.
What a second-half takeover by the junior. The go-ahead touchdown, an interception, and then the game-sealing touchdown.
Done correctly, Nick, this should be the last play of the game. Done correctly.
Big emphasis on correctly. Stewart to punt, and he actually will. High in the air. That clock's winding, and we have 2 seconds left.
I'm going to put it
almost.
I'm going to put this
out.
at the 40 at the Holy Spirit 47.
See where the referee marks it, and it's at the St. Joe 45.
Wow.
So St. Joe's is going to run. It looked like they were going to run one more play. They have everybody lining up at the 50, I think. Let's see what they're going to do here.
I think they thought the clock was going to run out.
St. Joe's does have to sit on the ball real quick before everyone lines up at the 50. What a game tonight.
Great twists. Holy Spirit comes out, shows dominance right away, gets it to 14-0. We go to the second quarter, and St. Joe's punches back and takes the lead 17-14 behind Cartagena and Brevard. And then Spirit scores before the break to quell everything.
Brevard handed off to Mayfield, and that's going to do it.
And then Gavin Roman burst onto the scene in the second half to give the Spartans the win over their arch rival, St. Joseph Wildcats.
What a game here tonight. Holy Spirit gets their third straight win over St. Joe's here in the Holy War rivalry. Your final score here tonight, Holy Spirit 35, St. Joe's 24. Once again, your Mad Dog Morgan player of the game is Gavin Roman. He took over in the second half. What a game we had tonight. Back and forth seesaw affair. But that is going to do it for us. Big thanks to Matt Omer for producing and filming tonight's broadcast. Big thanks to my broadcast partner, Dennis Smith. I am Nick Costco saying so long once again. Your final score, Holy Spirit 35, St. Joe's 24.